Hello, everybody. I'm Oremaster 101. Uh, if you are hearing this part of the video, that means you've watched the whole episode of the Super Sentai slash Kamen Rider holiday special video that we have uploaded. And you may have noticed I wasn't there. Well, work kind of fucked me over this recording session, so me and Beth are doing a little afterthoughts portion so I can get my thoughts about the episodes in. Beth is with me tonight. Say hello, Beth.
Yeah, Aura was the one who actually acted like they had things to say.
Oh yeah, so I'm a casual Super Sentai slash Kamen Rider enjoyer. I haven't watched any of the series officially yet, except for my one binge evening of the Ghost Kamen Rider series, which I have been told
Yeah.
by multiple people isn't super good for multiple reasons. I still wanted to give it a look.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
I still wanted to give it a good watch to see how it was because I like ghosts as a concept. I got to the first climax of the series and then I stopped watching. Uh,
Because Kamen Rider Ghost sets these stakes that it then keeps resetting every time it gets to the stakes, and they haven't solved the problem yet.
uh, but yeah. So the first episode, the first video that we watched was from Kazuzoko Sentai Gokaiger, correct?
Aizoku Sentai, yes.
Yes, and it was the Christmas special.
Yes.
Okay. First note that I wrote down: villain's staff looked like a dick, and that's what I have written down. Uh, but I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So
Yeah, kind of.
I really liked this episode. When it comes to Christmas specials, yep, that's a penis. That is a that is a bad dragon right there. But what was I saying? I feel like when it comes to a Christmas special in an action series like Sentai or anything else, I think when it comes to like holiday specials, the stakes need to be kind of low, and the stakes were pretty low in this episode. Uh, so I found it quite enjoyable. At the end of the episode, they ended up getting a new superpower and a new ultimate thing for one of their
Yeah.
upgrades. And yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, they have all of the Ranger keys from the beginning of the series.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that each Ranger key or each set of Ranger keys has a sort of unique power in it that has to be bestowed upon them when that particular team basically gives their blessing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like at the end of the episode, when uh, Battle Kenya basically gives them their blessing because they helped save Christmas or helped save these children's Christmas.
Yeah. And like you said, Gokaiger is a good place to kind of jump in if you want to, because you said that with the like how the this season works, there's a lot of callbacks to different. There's that dick again. There's there's a lot of callbacks to different Sentai series from the past, and honestly, yeah, you also said it was a good like jumping off point. Like if somebody sees like a
Yeah.
Sentai, like a transformation they really like, they can go and like look into it. And honestly, yeah, I honestly think I might Gokaiger might be a series I might start watching. And yeah.
Gokaiger is a good place to jump in because it's basically a Super Sentai history lesson, and it's best not to go in and treating it like it's the best series ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it is mostly just about the show's history,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
What else? So I'm trying to remember. Uh,
I guess I didn't explain because you weren't here. There might be a few things I'd have to explain to you specifically. So, the part where Gokai Silver merges the red and green keys,
mm-hmm.
And let me see. This is because he's the sixth ranger of the team, and there was a team before them called Go Onger,
Mm-hmm.
where they didn't have one sixth ranger, they had two sixth rangers. So when he got around to having to use those powers, it's like, but I have two of them. Which one do I turn into? Well,
Okay.
something about his transformation item let him merge the two together to make Go on Wings like this. So that is how he was able to make Gokai Christmas.
Okay, so the ability to transform them to get like that was not a one-off for just this episode. This is something that he can do.
Technically, yes. This is just the only other time that it's happened because it hasn't had the need to come up yet. Like this is something I pointed out in the regular review. It's not just the Gokai Christmas outfit isn't just like, oh, it's half red, it's half green. The Gokai red and Gokai green visors are slightly different,
Mm-hmm.
and it has that asymmetricality molded into the helmet.
It looks like a really fucked
You
up
can,
horse if you look at it like left to right, doesn't it?
God damn
I
it.
what like. I'm pointing out like a thing that I noticed. It looks like a fucked. His visor looks like a fucked up horse. Um, what else?
I should. If you can't think of anything, I'll talk about Battle Fever J again.
No, that's fine. It's fine if you want to. I just wanted to say that. Get that out of my face. I
So
forgot.
in you forgot.
Please explain what the fuck is going on with these guys because they are
Okay,
fucking weird.
so Battle Fever J was the third Sentai ever,
Oh.
and it was the first Super Sentai show to actually have giant robots. Because the previous two only had like super vehicles and like a funny helicopters and jets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this Battle Fever J was co-produced by Stan Lee and Marvel
Oh.
because this is when they were making the Japanese Spider-Man show, which the Japanese Spider-Man show is the first of these shows to have giant transforming robots. That is a true fact.
Interesting.
Uh, I mentioned this in the review. The red one is Battle Japan, the blue one is Battle France, the black one is Battle Kenya, the orange one is Battle Cossack, which should tell you how old this show was, because he still has the Soviet Union logo on his chest.
So
And the pink
sorry, you go
and the
first.
pink one is Miss America.
Oh, it makes so much sense now. So when Steg brought up like he was like, "Are we going to talk about the Soviet Union Power Ranger?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But now that I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, yeah, that's a that's a Soviet Union Power Ranger.
I need to. I can't find a good picture of it where the chest symbol isn't covered up. Keep talking.
Uh, well, my next question. Sorry, I bit into pizza when you told me to keep talking. Uh,
Choke.
okay, so when you said that the Power Ranger, sorry, oh, I shouldn't call them Power Rangers because they're not Power Rangers.
I'll kill you.
So when you said that the Gokai Rangers, I think that's the right word.
Yeah, go
Uh,
Kaijus.
the Gokaigers get like their ultimate. Yep, that's that sickle and hammer. What have they done to gain their like ultimate abilities for like the other keys? Like besides saving Christmas, what else have they done?
Well, I wouldn't be able to name them off the top of my head. Basically, they would. This is the 35th anniversary, so they're the 35th Ranger team, and basically, more or less, a bunch of the past Sentai teams have a focus episode about them,
Mm-hmm.
and usually a past actor who played characters in that show will like replay that role and give their blessing in some way. There were several they sort of glossed over. Like there was a very big important movie they did with this season
Mm-hmm.
where a bunch of the past teams just I give my blessing, and just sort of glossed over
It's
because not everything can have a focus
no,
episode.
I get what you mean. Not I mean to like to like connect things because like I am familiar with I am a little bit familiar with Power Rangers Megaforce and how that is also like a anniversary series, but it was poorly done compared to this one because weren't they
Yeah,
combining? They were combining both Gokaiger and a different one as well, correct?
let me see.
Oh yeah, Tensuo Sentai Gosei goes.
Yeah,
I'm so
okay.
bad at these names.
So when they adapted Megaforce and Super Megaforce, they were like speed. They were trying to speed things up to get to Gokaiger, so they could time their anniversary with using the Gokaiger footage. So they slapped together Tenso Sentai Goseiger, which were angel themed, with an entirely different Super Sentai Gokaiger, which were pirate themed,
Yeah, no,
and
that's super weird.
they just they fast forwarded both. They just plowed straight through these seasons and was all dog shit.
No, that's completely fair. Uh, I should watch the Angel season. That one's in like I there's no really.
I mean, you might try it if you might try it. I guess it doesn't sound all that interesting
I mean I'm gonna
from
be
what I've heard. I
I
haven't watched it, but you do what you
the,
want.
I'm gonna say this. I what I there so with the Sentais I just want to stay like every time I hear about like an interesting like different motif like compared to the regular like vehicles or animals or dinosaurs I kind of latch onto that more like Rangers versus Lupin Rangers. It's like, oh shit, cops versus robbers. That seems really fucking interesting compared to Super Sentai Ninja Force number 52. Like, you know what I mean?
There's technically only three Ninja Sentai, but yeah.
I
I mean, you say that, but like, Sager is like it's sort of animal vehicle fusion
mm-hmm.
because the gimmick of Ghost Sager is like there are things called headers where a lot of the aesthetic is taking heads of things and putting them on a doohickey.
Huh?
So it'll like uh, I remember I saw the Go Say Great transformation once, where so you see like the red dragon. The red dragon will be disguised as like an airliner, and then the header will attach to it, and it will reveal itself as the dragon. And like the snake one is like a train.
Uh-huh.
It forms the legs and stuff.
Okay. Okay, I can that yeah, okay. Oh, I also remembered another thing that I remembered. The Gokaiger Rangers are aliens that are not humans, but they also look human. What's up with
Yes,
that?
it's easier that way.
It's easy.
Actually, let me pull something up now that you bring that up. What's it? Uh, it's, it's almost there. It's Q Ranger. That's it. There was an 11-person Sentai team called Q Ranger, Uchu Sentai Q Ranger, where they were all aliens, and some of them were less human because they were like suit acted.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the Q in Q Ranger means 11, so you got a lot of characters. Not all of them got a lot of characterization. So
Oh
let me
wait,
see.
I've read about this one a little bit. I was also interested in this one not because each of the rangers are based off of a astrological sign.
Yeah, constellation.
Yeah,
So the pink one is an android. The purple one is a dragon, so he's suit acted. The silver one is a snake man who's mostly human. The gold one is just an android. The blue one is a wolf man. The black one is also an android but more robotic. And the orange one is also human, but he has a scorpion tail.
gotcha.
Let's see if I. Uh, it's yeah, that
How do
works.
you feel about this one? Because once, as I said, this was another one that I was interested in.
It was pretty good. So you can see the pink one, the gold one who's the robot, the purple one that's the dragon, the blue one in the back who's a dog, the big black one in the back that's the bull robot.
Smash. What? Huh? Sorry. What was the question?
Yeah, you would.
I mean, hey, if there isn't,
Nobody show this man Doggy Kruger.
I've already seen Doggy Kruger. I'm very familiar with Doggy Kruger. Man was my furry slash gay awakening back when I was in middle school. Like
this this man gets so much bar porn in the Japanese community.
so much.
This
It's
man.
so much.
Oh,
This poor man. He has a wife and kids. You sickos. I'm kidding. How's the Sentai version of this series? Because I've only seen SPD Rangers, like the American version.
I haven't watched it.
That's fair.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched anything older than Gokaiger.
Okay. Uh, anything else
Or
you?
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's it. Uh, oh right. So another thing about Battle Fever.
Mm-hmm.
Image back up. So the thing about Battle Fever J is, like I said, it's the third ever Super Sentai. For the longest time, it was considered the first Super Sentai, and because it was the first one that had giant robots. For the longest time, the two previous teams were not considered Super Sentai. They were in this nebulous proto Super Sentai thing, and they were like later reintroduced into canon. The previous two teams were Go Ranger and Jaka Dengekitai. So, like, the actual first Super Sentai team was Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And if you watch Gokaiger, they bring this up in the first episode.
They're those are some pretty cool suits.
Yeah, they are, like, fuzzier and have a lot of the really older series have, like, bigger eye holes in the masks, which is what I think what Avery found disturbing about Miss America was the like bug eyes. This is Jaka Dengeki Kai. That's spelled JAKQ as in Jack Ace King Queen.
I remember
And then the guy in the middle is their leader, Big One.
my younger brother, I think, talked about this one a whole lot. I don't remember. Have you talked
Oh,
about?
here's the picture
That's the
where
one that initially ended
here's
the
the
franchise.
That's how you entered.
No, that's the one that initially ended the franchise.
Oh, okay. Sorry, some commentary from off to the side.
this is the guy in the middle is Big One from Jaka, and people think he looks a lot like Hitler sometimes.
He honestly looks like he could be from a Metal Gear Solid. I mean, am I wrong?
I don't know. I've never played Metal Gear
No,
Solid. I'm a fake fan.
I haven't either. Anything else that you?
Oh, there he is.
Wait,
Yep.
there who is? Oh, oh no.
Let's see.
R.I.P. the Charlie Chaplin mustache will forever be known as the Hitler.
Yeah, this is from 1977.
Oof.
Okay, do you think that's covered all your thoughts on the Gokaiger
Yeah,
episode?
I can't really think of anything else to say about Gokaiger.
Okay, well then I'll go to the next was Dawn Brothers. See if I have image open.
Dong Brothers
I
is going
got
to
it.
be a really them trying to adapt that into Power Rangers. I feel is going to be real weird. Oh no, not
So
this.
here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing.
Uh huh.
The Q Ranger, the one I showed you, the space one.
Mm-hmm.
The toys for that show were specifically made for ease of adaptation into a Power Ranger series because Bandai of America and Bandai of Japan do not necessarily have the same budgets.
Mm-hmm.
So when they bring the toys over to America, they have to like re-engineer them, and so they made those toys simpler. I'm just gonna go get the Q Ranger toys picture.
No, that's fair.
When they made these simpler for ease of adaptation, and then Power Rangers skipped over that season.
Damn.
But then they went back and used them in a really weird way because the last season they've adapted was a dinosaur Sentai that then went into space so that they could use these toys
Those are some.
with suits that made no fucking sense.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Those are some pretty bitchin' looking toys.
Yeah, the way it doesn't have a lot of articulation, like the legs don't move, but the arms can move.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of those globes, the main body plugs into them in such a way that they can each light up, and they can like cycle the lights and everything, and it's pretty neat.
Interesting.
So the thing about Dawn Brothers is, eventually Power Rangers started just going their own way and doing a more original footage.
Mm-hmm.
So Super Sentai started getting into even more very specific Japanese stuff. So, and Don Brothers is indicative of that because it's based on the story of Momotaro. It's like say the story about a boy who washed down a river in a peach. A man found him and adopted the boy. The boy went on an adventure, and he recruited a dog, a pheasant, and damn it, I thought I had the pictures open, and a monkey. And they go off to like fight Noni, which is why the characters are Don Momotaro, uh, Inu brother, the dog, Kiju brother, the pheasant, and Saru brother, the monkey, and then Oni sister, the and then Don Dragoku back there, who is based on Journey to the West.
Yeah, and you said that he's based on what's the word? A dragon and a tiger, right?
Yeah, so he has a thing where he has a split personality.
Mm-hmm.
So his regular form is Don Dragoku, but when his dangerous side takes over, he like changes forms into more of a punk, and then he becomes Don Torabolt.
I
Tora meaning tiger.
I remember that I was gonna question if he's based off of Journey to the West, why not have him be based off Sun Wukong? But they technically already have a monkey character as part of the group, so I guess they didn't want to double up, so they chose different characters.
As I stated in the review, actually, As I stated in the review, Sour Brother does have a red ass because he is macaque.
Yes. I saw it and I did my best to keep my mouth shut about it. All right, I should probably tell my feelings about how I felt for this Christmas special. This one was this one was really good. The stakes were super low. A quintessential like holiday special of like nothing serious is happening. Things are just kind of silly and fun and not super crazy. Yep, that's a red ass. Uh, I when I so my brother was the first person who to show me the Don Brothers season, and I saw the like what the suits look like, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, this is the first season that uses like a lot of CGI, and I'm like,
Yeah.
at first I
Well,
was
CG. Well, specifically CG Rangers. They all use. A lot of them have been using CGI for a while, but
yeah.
it's also kind of jank, honestly.
Yeah, just a little bit. Like it when the Pink Ranger and the Black Ranger are fighting with the rest of the group, it feels very off-putting. I can kind of understand why they like so from like the preview from the previous episode, we see like the Black Ranger fighting somebody and then out of nowhere he turns into a different ranger form and he does the same thing in this
Yeah.
episode. Uh
Yeah. So this season was another anniversary season, and
mhm,
it came off the back of another anniversary season. It was kind of a clusterfuck. So the Dawn Brothers sort of have the same abilities as the Gokaidras,
mhm.
just turned into other Rangers.
Gotcha.
They don't use it as often as they do in Gokaiger.
Now, did anybody make a joke about the Black Ranger looking like a Sonic OC in the other recording?
Yes, everybody did.
Okay,
In
cool.
fact, we did it in the previous part of the episode.
I know. Homeboy looks like a Sonic OC. That's all I had to say. I mean, he looks like the character that you make in Sonic Forces.
Yep.
But I don't really have a problem with that. I know they look a little janky, but I kind of don't I find it like kind of interesting and fascinating that like they are using CGI to give like these rangers like different proportions and stuff. I think that's really interesting.
They also do have some scenes where they film the character with the chest up, using like puppets and stuff, so that they can have like some physical shots of the characters.
That sounds really funny. I need to watch this.
Okay, well, before you get into your feelings about it,
Okay.
I get to re-talk about some of these characters because. So this is the physical model.
God damn it! It's I don't know what to say about it. It's just I only have one joke and it's Sonic OC. Like
It's the same joke everybody has. Yeah. So the let's see. So the I probably shouldn't just recap the plot of the series again, but you can probably go back and watch that. But I do want to talk about the Pink and Black Rangers because the Pink Rangers, the Pink Ranger is the first and only male Pink Ranger, and he's a salary man, and his main characteristic is that he loves his wife. He really loves his wife. He really loves his wife.
Damn it! I was hoping for just a second, just a smidgen of a second, that the only pink like male ranger in the entirety of Super Sentai was gay, and I know that's like stereotypical or whatever, but like he's really cute in like his human form. So I'm hearing
Oh,
my brother.
don't spoil it. I'm gonna spoil it.
Oh, okay. Don't say anything. Beth is gonna spoil it.
Yeah, so this guy's wife is a okay. So he really likes his wife.
Yeah.
The Black Ranger here
Is his wife.
his story is His story is that his girlfriend went missing,
Oh no.
and as a result, he became a wanted fugitive.
Mm-hmm.
Because, in the investigation of his missing girlfriend. Uh, his wife is this weird clone copy of his girlfriend.
What the fuck?
And it turns into this literal NTR subplot.
Beth, what the fuck?
Fuck me, I forgot his name again.
Pink bitch. Just call him Pink bitch.
Kiji Brother. At one point, Kiji Brother let a guy. The monsters of the week are like humans possessed by their overpowering emotion or something like that. And there is a part where Kiji Brother lets one of the monsters of the week die along with the person inside because the person attacked his wife.
Yo, what the fuck?
And there is a later scene. Let's see. There's a later scene or there's a later part in the episode where they don't have the. I need to save it and put it in this stream. Can't quite. There we go. So when the Black Ranger and the Pink Ranger figure out who each other are, the Pink Ranger, realizing that the Black Ranger is sort of in with his wife that's actually his girlfriend, the Pink Ranger turns the Black Ranger over to the authorities. And this is the face he makes when he does it.
What the fuck?
This guy is insane.
Okay, I take it back. Bro, I can't fix that. I feel like I can. I feel like Oh, sorry, you go first.
I need to post this drawing I found while looking for that.
Oh my god, that's wonderful. What was I gonna say?
I described this. I described it to the rest of the group. Dawn Brothers is like everybody in the room thinks they're the only sane person, and they think everybody else in the room is crazy.
Why is it that Dawn Brothers understands what the fuck a yandere is better than most other media? Because I could imagine a yandere doing that. Like, oh, you had a thing with my wife, who is also your girlfriend from a long time ago? Well, I'm gonna take you out of the picture just in case she remembers you. Because what the fuck? Oh god, I can't believe I found him like a trap. Oh god. Ah. I am.
Okay, now we can talk about Christmas.
Yes.
Now we can bring back Homeless Santa.
Please bring back Homeless Santa. Thank you. This is less painful to look at. Oh wait, hey, before we continue on, I thought I had a joke about so this is the Persona Sentai series with all the.
Actually, it's the They Live Super Sentai.
Oh yeah, They Live. I was thinking Persona because it has a lot to do with the human subconscious and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is kind of Persona because it is called Avataro Sentai, and I think that had something to do with it. I don't really remember if that had actually meant anything.
But Beth, you probably explained it in the actual review. But what do you mean by the They Live season of Super Sentai?
Okay, so if you probably noticed the weird glitchy doors they would sometimes use in the episode we watched.
Yep.
At the beginning of the show, they get these sunglasses, which I can't really find a picture of because Super Sentai stuff is all done through fucking fandom.com, and it's not very useful. But they get these sunglasses that, because there's a big sunglass motif with the way all the characters are designed, and Don Momotaro's sword is actually just a pair of sunglasses, called the Zanglass sword.
Okay.
So when they put on the sunglasses, they can see these all this extra dimensional stuff. And one of the things about it is, you know how in like Power Rangers they had the putties?
Yes.
Just like the villains always have some sort of grunt force. Well, these are the Anoni. They take on the guise of humans, but you can see them when you have the sunglasses on. It's like they live.
Damn, they are bulging the hell out of those fucking Sentai suits.
Yeah, somebody made the camel toe joke in the main review. That's just an unfortunate side effect.
No, I know it's an unfortunate side effect of you know, like if you are playing a Sentai like character, God help you if you're well endowed, I guess.
Yeah, they just need to wear jock straps, honestly.
Or tuck. Like but that
oh, you just reminded me. There's a gender swap episode in Patch Ranger versus Lupin Ranger.
Mm-hmm. Oh Jesus Christ! But
when they get turned back to their regular genders, they just like grab their crotch. It's like, oh, thank God, it's back.
Jesus Christ! But besides the unfortunate bulge, I really like how these minion characters look. I like the tie-dye kind of like psychedelic effect of them. I don't know why they have hammers. But yeah,
They're just gonna have weapons.
yeah, I think they're definitely really cool. What else do I want to say about?
Well, we haven't talked about the Christmas part yet.
Oh yeah, we have not talked about the Christmas part yet. I keep forgetting about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you go first.
Monster of the week. The monster of the week was an embittered Santa because he got arrested and humiliated for dressing up as a child.
I mean,
and coming to some child's home.
I at the end of the day, it's his own fault. I'm gonna be real honest. I can't feel sorry.
They even say that in the show.
I can't feel sorry for this character and what happened because he was like, oh, not only do I break into people's homes to give children presents, but I try my best to give like the best present that I can. Here's me trying to give this kid a video game, but it turns out he wants an older brother. Let me dress up as a fucking child. Oh, why are they arresting me? They hate Christmas. Like what the fuck?
Well, it's not that they hate Christmas, but yeah, he was like embittered and humiliated by that experience, and that turned him into a monster.
I mean,
it's like going around gift wrapping trash and giving it to people.
Yes, in this scene where they're like, yes, you are the almighty Santa, teach us. And it's like, guys, please.
No way.
You haven't explained who these three people are yet.
Well, yeah, it's because I explained it in the main episode.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So the Noto, they're the Noto. They're like beings of a higher dimension made from human thought, basically sent down to better understand humanity and judge them, and they're like... They also kill the monsters of the week, but they don't take they are more willing to kill the people inside.
Yeah, they're like not to make a Bleach analogy, but they're like the Quincy's of this world, where like
I'm going to pretend to understand what that means.
Okay, so just a little recap on Bleach lore. There are Soul Reapers, like Grim Reapers, who fight the monsters of the series, which are called Hollows. When a Soul Reaper kills a Hollow, they basically purge the spirit in purge the spirit that is the Hollow and sends them on to the afterlife. A Quincy does the same thing, except they don't send the spirit off to the afterlife. They just kill it. It's gone. Okay. It's kaput. So, yeah, similar vibes. Which is kind of weird because, like, if you come from human consciousness, why would you want to kill...
I'm probably not explaining it well. But...
No, yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure. Like, am I not understanding something?
No. It's been a while since I watched it.
No, it's all good. If you can't, like, it's fine if you can't remember. I'm just like going off of what you say about like, these guys are like higher beings created from like human thought and stuff, and it's just like that's a little weird that you want to like. I mean, I guess it also makes sense from the fact of like the thought process of like, oh, this person's like too far gone to like help out, so let's just take care of them so they stop fucking with humans. Uh, Also, I guess my next question is, so can all the monsters teleport like the Santa monster? Is that
Yes, because they can all access that like extra dimensional glitchy stuff.
cool? So what was this guy's power?
Okay, so the monsters from this series are all each one of them is based on a previous Super Sentai team.
Uh-huh.
So they have similar powers to those, and where's that damn tab? That they're like called the Hitotsuki or something, and I could never remember how to pronounce that. 41. They were based on. It's, come on, it's in there somewhere. Nope. 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 Son of a bitch. Nope. 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 What the hell? Why is it? God damn it, fandom! You useless. Blah 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 blah. Oh, oh. Ah, for Christ's sake. Santa. Why? Why do you not have hyperlinks where I need them? Ah, brothers.
Meanwhile, I'm stuck with my thoughts of the Pink Ranger doing all that, and it's just like Jesus Christ.
Go. Here we go. Mask Man. Hikari Sentai Mask Man. Which they had like aura powers. So that's why the Santa monster is like so religious in its symbolism and had all those meditating powers.
Oh
Because like
yeah.
the monsters rarely have things to do with the people they're transformed from. The one funny thing I like they did with Dawn Brothers is there are 3 ninja Sentai teams. The first person to turn into the Ninja Sentai monster was like this middle-aged failure of a man who really wanted to be a ninja. He was like doing this at an age where it was way too weird for him to keep doing it, and then he gets defeated. The second ninja Sentai Totsuki is represented by the same actor.
Oh no.
And then the third one is represented by the same actor. The same guy keeps turning into all the Ninja Sentai
Jesus
characters.
Christ. Bro, get a life. Figure out a new hobby. Also, I loved how everybody was freaking out about getting trash in their homes.
Yeah, Stig pointed that out.
Yeah, I do remember like Stig pointing that out. Oh no, there's extra cans in your house. Like, is it the fact that? Oh my god, is it bad to say that I would like to take him out on a date?
Yes.
I have I have a type, and unfortunately, it's a tag. It's a hentai tag, and we'll leave it at that. Uh,
Ugly bastard.
Ugly bastard. Yeah, that was the joke, Beth. I was trying to keep it subtle. Oh, fuck. Hang on, sorry. I'm plugging my.
Okay, so what were you saying about something.
Oh shit, what was I talking about? Uh,
Shit.
no, I just like I remember talking about the guys freaking out about having trash in their house.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was what you were talking about.
I can understand why they were probably freaking out because it's like, hey, who left this like gift? Like, if I come home and there's like a present in my house and I unwrap it and it's a box of shit, like actual shit, I'd be freaking out too.
Well,
Like,
there goes my old day.
yeah, like what the fuck? Who got into my house? What else? Yep. I love these guys, by the way. They're so cunty. Like,
Yeah. If I remember correctly, they're like each trying to learn how to do genuine emotions. Like each one of them has a certain emotion. Like the girl one is love. The funny looking chiseled one is like laughter. I think I don't remember what the middle one is. And I mentioned in the review, I love this guy's face because it's just so distinct.
oh yeah, I did want to talk about the beginning of this episode. It was really funny of just like, we'll see each other tomorrow. And it's like, tomorrow? Do you guys do this? Do you guys fight like every day, all the fucking time? Like,
They do this a few times throughout the series. It's like, this time we're finally going to end it, and they don't end it. It's basically a running joke at this point.
so why do these guys and the Rangers have beef?
I can't remember.
That's fair. I'll probably learn in a little bit because I'm probably gonna sit down at one point and watch this series.
Yeah, stuff that's interesting about Don Brothers in particular. Let me pull up. You remember? Do you remember the guy in the cafe they were in? The like guy who owned the cafe.
Yeah.
So that character is the leader of the. That guy is the leader of the Sentai team that came before this one. The previous one was called like Zenkoku Sentai Zenkaiger.
Uh-huh.
This is Zenkaiser. He was that cafe guy. He was that owns the cafe. In this season, he is called Zenkaiser Black.
Oh. Oh, no, you took the gay away. What the fuck?
Yeah, the previous suit was based on Big One, the rainbow guy from Jaka Denkekitai I showed you.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
I don't entirely remember why he's in this show, but he just sort of is. Because the thing about this show is the toy line, when they were doing the toy line for Dawn Brothers, the toy line wasn't entirely ready yet.
Ooh.
So, the first toys that came out for Dawn Brothers had to interact with the Zenkaiger robot. So, basically, the way these worked is there were 4 robots that would combine vertically down the middle. So they'd split in half. It was a pretty interesting gimmick, but they weren't very articulated. Like, the knees don't really work. And so, in order to ease into the next toy line, you notice how the Dawn Brothers use those guns with the gears in them they
Yeah.
stick in.
Yeah.
That was also the gimmick of Zenkaiger.
I'm gonna be real honest.
So they basically had to share a gimmick.
I thought the cafe owner was the Black Ranger.
No.
Yeah, no, I realize that now because you said that the other Rangers don't know who the Black Ranger is currently, and I thought that was like the the joke of like how the Black Ranger might know what's going on and stuff because he runs the cafe and.
So starting out, the Rangers don't know who each other are, The red, blue, and yellow ranger learn who they are somewhat recently. They don't know who the pink ranger is until like halfway through the series. They don't learn who the black ranger is until like the end of the season.
The end.
Well, close to the end.
Gotcha.
That's
Oh, and also they had that big fight with the Santa monster. I'm kidding now. I assume we're gonna. Oh, what the?
There's the cafe owner.
Yeah. No, he looks completely different.
Yeah. So as I was talking about with the toy line, in order to ease it into the in order to ease Zinkheiger into Dawn Brothers, they basically had to recycle half the figure because like the right half there is one of the previous robots, and then the left half is this motorcycle that I showed you that video earlier that Don Momotaro rides in when he enters the scene.
Oh, that looks janky.
And so basically, yeah, so it's pretty much a brick. It was all right for the time. And there was also the Don Momotaro altar, which was this tiny robot that Don Momotaro can put his soul into that is more or less the same size as the toy and turns into this little peach.
Yes.
And you can attach like a bunch of other things to it from other series.
I do remember this robot during the episode where this robot and then a car and then a bird go chasing after Monster Santa Claus, and they're just right
yeah, that was the Patch Ranger and Lupin Ranger accessories. So it was a jet and a car. However, halfway through the series, they got their actual mecha, and it's one of the greatest Sentai toys ever made.
Oh, shit. That looks like it goes hard.
Yeah, so
it's only $84.99. What a steal!
Yeah, this toy is the tallest main robot in Super Sentai, meaning like main combined robot without a bunch of power-ups on top of it. This is a fully articulated action figure, and it is like one of the best toys ever because and apparently it came about, as I explained in the other part of the video, some kids of like a boardroom director, when they were designing these toys, the kid was upset that the toys couldn't move like they did in the show, because I showed you like these Zinkheiger toys,
the brick shithouse
like
toys,
the arms, the arms can move and that's about it. Like you can't even rotate the heads because the heads have to split in half.
Shit. Honestly, if I was, I'd be upset too.
Yeah. So the individual parts of this aren't necessarily as articulated, but it's for the greater good. Mm-hmm. The funny thing about these is, most of the time when Rangers pilot a robot, it's, a piloted robot. They don't pilot these robots. They turn into the robots. These are they are the robots.
Kind of like Oh, sorry, you finish your thought.
These are their Robotaro forums.
Yeah, kind of like how they did it in the... I don't know what the Sentai version of it is, but Mystic Force.
Maybe?
Because from what I remember from that series, well, at least with the Power Rangers series, is that the Rangers like transformed into their mecha forms with like a magic spell, and then they could use another spell to turn into like their big Megazord. But it might be different compared to the Sentai version, because I don't know what happened in the Sentai version of Mystic Force. Exactly.
Yeah, that is called Maho Sentai Magi Ranger.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't. I know that they do combine using magic spells. I don't remember if they turn into anything because I haven't actually watched that series.
That's fair.
Let's see. Yeah. So the other funny thing about this is when they are combined, they're still conscious.
Mm-hmm.
Like they like their heads bobble when they talk because like you can see the head on the shoulder and the head's on the knees. They understand that they are arms and legs.
Oh God. Am I made of arms, or am I a man made of arms, or am I a leg made of man's? I don't know, and I don't know what the fuck I just said. Actually,
Like this fucking goes hard.
I have how easy is it to get like a hold of like Super Sentai like toys and merch from past seasons? Like,
I wouldn't know. There's a website called Mandarake that is pretty good for like getting old stuff in from Japan.
that's fair.
Uh, Often you might go for there's a series called Super Mini Pla where they more or less recreate the robots from the series, but you have to, it's a model kit, you have to build it yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but they often have way more articulation than the original figures.
I've always been kind of interested in model building, but I have fat man hands that aren't very good at like holding things. So I've never really tried to do like model building sets. I might do. You know what? I might try and model build in the future. Buy like a simple set and see where I go from there. What else was I gonna say about this episode? Because I didn't say my thoughts about like it as like a holiday special as a whole, right?
Yep. Nope. We keep getting distracted.
Oh, okay. Would it be okay if I say it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I this was my favorite episode out of the three of them that we saw because uh as I said with like holiday specials with like action series like this stuff, I feel like the stakes should be real low, and the stakes for this episode were really low. Like, so low, they didn't even fight the monster as, like, their big mecha, like, suit fight. It was, like, a different character that they work with. The sort of...
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
that was kind of weird to explain because it does sort of come out of nowhere because they have to have the giant robot fight, so they bullshit some reason to have a robot fight.
Yeah, I know that
When
Chris wasn't around for your explanation on the sword with mommy issues, so he, I mean, like he was talking about like his mother every 5 seconds in the fight, and it's like, okay, dude. I mean, I understand that you're a child, but
yeah, don't keep going.
no, you finish your thought first.
No, you go.
Okay,
You're the one with the thought to finish.
But yeah, super low stakes, nothing crazy happened, no crazy plot points or anything, just dudes being bros trying to save Christmas, and Santa is a dirty hobo. I think that was a pretty good holiday episode. Yes, the sword with mommy issues.
Yeah, because he's sort of like a weapon from the same place that the Naoto come from, and he basically has the mentality of a obedient child that is controlled by an AI called Mother.
Ah, that makes sense.
That talks to him in his head and tells him to kill the Dawn brothers.
I mean, that's fair.
Is it?
I don't know. I haven't watched a whole lot of Brothers, so I don't know what the whole deal. I know the Pink Ranger is a sociopath now. Thanks for ruining that for me. I'm kidding. No. What was I gonna say? Maybe the Don brothers deserve to get stabbed multiple times by an AI controlled sword dude. I don't know.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Do you have any? Do you have any other thoughts on the Don Brothers episode?
Oh, the hilarity of them being super self-aware. It's just like, no, guys, you don't understand. This is the Christmas episode. It's gonna end with Santa flying across the screen and saying "Merry Christmas," and then the girl being the little girl being like, "I don't want to do this anymore. This Santa's creepy," and then the yellow and blue Rangers being like, "No, you gotta finish this out. You gotta talk Santa back into doing Santa shit." And she's like, "Are you really?" I thought that was really funny. Your explanation of like the whole team being like everybody's fucking crazy. Thank God I'm the only normal person here. Like meme really makes a lot of sense. But now are we on to the last one?
Yep. Let me get that image back. There we go.
Now, chat, if you think me talking about the bulges before, I have a lot to say about what the fuck. What the fuck? Okay.
I'm finally gonna get that bike for Christmas.
I hate you. I don't know anything about this series, but I already hate you. I'm kidding. Okay. What was the name of the series again?
Kamen Rider X-Aid.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just pulling it up on my end so I have some reference. And I'll let you explain what Kamen Rider X-Aid is all about first.
Yeah, X-Aid is... I mentioned this in the previous episode, but I didn't really explain it well. I feel like this show came slightly too early because, like I said, it's a doctor video game themed Kamen Rider series where they're fighting viruses, video game bugs as physical viruses that can affect and kill people.
It's a really interesting plot.
But you have to keep in mind it's about a bugster virus that's killing people in the current year.
Oh.
This came out in 2016.
Oh no.
Let that sink in.
Oh no. Oh no, no, God. What a time to release a fucking series. Are you... Jesus wept. Let's... I don't want to talk... what's the word? Oh yeah, this was the one that also came after Kamen Rider Ghost. In fact, I think there's a movie where Pac-Man is the main villain.
Oh, right! I didn't talk about Dr. Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah. I know about this a little bit because this was my brother's other way to get me into X-Aid. He was like, why don't you start with the Kamen Rider Ghost, Kamen Rider X-Aid crossover movie where they fight Pac-Man together. Yeah, you did. I thought you did. Okay, I've been told other reasons. Yeah, that's Dr. Pac-Man. Anyway, so the reasoning for this team-up is that somebody on the X-Aid team was like, hey, how do you kill Pac-Man? With a ghost. And, yeah, then Kamen Rider Ghost comes out of nowhere, but, like Kamen Rider Ghost was their closest ghost ally at this point, I guess. I haven't watched the movie. I know it...
It's basically... every Kamen Rider, or almost every Kamen Rider, has a crossover movie with the previous writer.
And also a crossover with whatever Super Sentai is going on at the time, correct? Or not?
Rarely. They don't always do that.
I just know
the
you
continuity with Super Sentai and Kamen Rider is weird. Kamen Riders and Super Sentai all exist in the same universe when the writers want them to be. Otherwise, they don't.
I
And
might
that's
be
about it.
I might be thinking that thought because like every time towards the end of the Kamen Rider Ghost episodes, they would have like this bumper involving whatever Sentai was going on at the time. I don't remember.
Yes.
And so I might have been thinking
Uh,
about that.
yeah. Kamen Rider and Super Sentai air in the same block called Superhero Time. So they'll have bumpers for each other's shows.
That's fun.
Let me pull up the Exade writers.
Yes, please do because I have several things to say about. I forget the name of this Kamen Rider.
Exade.
Oh, yeah, I have certain things to say about Xade's secondary form.
No. Balls. Why can't I just find the images I was using earlier, Google? Because there are just the four main writers and then the main Dark Rider to begin with. Exade is sort of notorious for usually there's one common writer and one secondary writer and maybe a couple of tertiary writers. Exade is around the time where it started getting a little bloated with the characters.
No, I get
Because it
that a
did
little
start
bit.
off with four writers.
Then 3 writers, then 4 writers again at some point.
Yeah, so Exade is based on platformers, so he's like your Mario type of thing. Brave is based on your fantasy games like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Snipe is based on shooter games, and Laser is based on racing games, specifically using the motorcycle because the rider part in Kamen Rider usually refers to riding motorcycles.
And also all of them are X8 is a pediatrician, Snipe is a coroner, correct?
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so Brave is the surgeon. Snipe works in uh, a rundown free clinic, and Laser is the
Laser's the
coroner.
coroner. Gotcha. Okay, I got confused for a second. Also, this picture doesn't do it justice, but X8 once again bulging the hell out of that suit. Like if you see it like front
Yeah,
on.
maybe.
I mean I would like to think so, but then again maybe I'm just a wishful thinking kind of guy. Hiraki Ijima, if you're listening to this, I am single and ready to mingle, even if you're straight.
Okay,
I'm
you
sorry.
don't get a say in the matter.
No, you get a say in the matter. If you say no thanks, it's all good. I'm not weird, Beth.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, I'm a little weird, but not that weird. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Anyway, I think these designs are super interesting. Uh I feel like there's a lot going on visually, but that's kind of the thing with video game characters. A lot of things go on visually with video game characters. Uh I definitely get the like the snipe like the shooters like vibes of Sniper and like the RPG vibes of Brave. Uh but I'm having trouble equating platformers to Xaid. If that makes
Okay,
sense.
so part of part of what happens when you fight in this series is it opens up a game, is it like game zone or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and the person using the game, say the Bugster or the Rider, will spawn items into the area. So, for example, when they were fighting the Bugster in this episode, chocolate bricks would show up in the background
Yeah.
because they're supposed to be like Mario bricks.
Ah, gotcha.
And if you another example, because this comes in the episode right after this episode, uh, the episode after this reveals the mighty the to get it would be Exaid's second super form. Exaid's first super form is based on Monster Hunter. It's called Dragon Knight Hunter Z,
And okay.
whereas it's just covered in a bunch of monster parts. The second super form comes after this Christmas episode, and it's called Mighty Brothers Double X because it's supposed to be like Mario and Luigi.
Interesting.
So it's supposed to be like the two-player variant of Mighty Action X, the game that this is that X8 uses.
Oh yeah, I think we forgot to talk about the evil writer as well, being basically an echo fighter of Xaid.
Yeah, Gem is the leader of the CEO of Gem Corp, and this Christmas episode coincides with a plot point where he was basically outed for performing human. Basically, these writers are the results of human experimentation, as are the bugsters that he sort of caused.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a part in this episode where Kamen Rider Laser goes and talks to Gim's father to try and get some information out of him. And that's the reason why the second half of the episode happens.
Yep.
Yeah, so I talked about the main plot of the episode. Basically, some kid breaks his leg because he was in a tree making a wreath for his mother, and when he was in the hospital with the Bugster virus, he was saying, "Oh, I hate Christmas, I hate cake," because his mother is a baker, and because she gets so busy around Christmas time, they don't get time to spend together. So he's like, "Oh, I hate Christmas because it splits the family apart." It's all very sob story. It's very simple in comparison to the second half.
Yeah. I think we talked about it a little bit, but the Christmas portion of the episode feels like it was supposed to. Hey Beth, can you remind me what this character's name is again?
Poppy People Popple.
Okay, cool. Sorry, you cut out for a second. Could you say it a second time?
Poppy People Popple.
Oh, it cut out again. Could you say it a third time?
Poppy People Popple.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I guess we'll talk about this bitch for a second. This was a fever dream. I don't know if Steg talked about it when we got to this portion, but this whole time felt like either A, I was having a stroke, or B, that one portion of that Simpsons episode where they go to Tokyo and they all start having seizures because of whatever they were watching on the TV. I everything going on here, I felt like I was about to lose my goddamn mind. Everything was going so fast.
It is very, very flashy. Very, very cutesy. I'll bring up the level 1 Santa.
I like this character, by the way.
Also, you can see in the background the chocolate brick that's supposed to look like one of the Mario bricks.
Yeah. What's the name of that one character from the PS1 era that was like part of a rhythm game? Lola or something? PS1 rhythm game.
Lammy?
No. Space Channel 5. The main character's name.
Right. It's not Pudding. Pudding's the other one.
Ulala.
Oh, Ooh La La.
Ooh La La, that's it. Yeah. This character who I'm not gonna say the name of because I'm gonna butcher it horribly. Gives like huge Ooh La La vibes for me. Also, I like their first forms. They're really cute. They're really they definitely give the vibe of being a sprite, like a video game sprite kind of character. I would buy 5,000 plushies.
This was Brave's Christmas form. This is I've stated this before. The level 1 form is the chibi form. The base form is the level 2 form, and then they get like extra. They basically put a second video game into their belts, and it gives them an additional thing. This is Brave's Do Re Mi Fa Beat upgrade, which is then upgraded again with the Christmas stuff.
Poor Brave. I feel like he's the ass of many jokes in this series.
Oh, you don't know the half of it. You remember how we talked about NTR? You don't. You remember
No.
how we talked about NTR with Don Brothers?
Jesus Christ.
So part of Brave's motivation is that he lost his fiancée to the Bugster virus.
Uh-huh.
The Bugster virus turns people into data basically and scatters it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just pull up this particular Bugster. What the hell was it called?
I predict it's going to have huge jugs.
Crisis. Okay. Ow. Balls. Pokimeki Crisis, okay. So there's a part midway through the season where a Bugster comes in from a game called Pokimeki Crisis, which is a dating sim game.
No.
Oh, why don't you have the picture of the Bugster, you stupid fandom? There we go. So this is the
Beth,
Pokimeki Crisis Bugster. He looks like this.
Uh-huh.
And he has the data for Brave's girlfriend.
Oh, God.
And if Brave doesn't do what he says, he's going to delete his girlfriend. So this went on. He basically forced Brave to be a bad guy for a while, and it sort of the arc sort of overstayed its welcome.
Overstayed its welcome.
That's the thing that happened.
Like just because of how NTR-y it is. Oh, Jesus Christ!
No, basically because of how miserable the arc is, where basically Brave is getting dragged along.
Poor Brave.
Let me see if I can
This
find
is his monster form? Nasty.
Yes. And let me see if I can. And well, the other thing that he does is he brainwashes puppy people with heart eyes and everything. I wish I could find the picture of it because it's kind of hard to look at. But Puppy People does get her own Kamen Rider form as Kamen Rider Poppy.
Oh, that's cute. I like that. That's a fun form.
Yeah, so I think the other character we should talk about is Dan Kuroto, because Dan Kuroto is the largest source of Kamen Rider memes in a long while, because he is psychotic. He is obsessed with godhood through video games because he believes himself a genius, and because he can create all these things. And he makes for good screenshots because he makes faces like this.
Damn, he has some yaoi fingers. What the fuck? Also, if he thinks he's God because of video games, put him in VR chat for like an hour and a half, and we'll see if that changes.
Yeah, so this man is psychotic, and his pettiness knows no bounds. Something, I don't remember if it started with X8 or not, but Kamen Rider more and more has had these villain characters that are really intimidating and frightening, to the point where they scare kids. So midway through the season, they have a pseudo redemption or whatever to make them appear more softer and turn them into goofballs
Not
instead of scary. So they just sort of went in hard with Dan Kuroto's craziness, as opposed to him being the intimidating, psychotic man that he was when he was first outed as the major villain. I'm
I
gonna pull this up.
To be fair,
Go ahead.
that the scene that happened after the holiday special part kind of went hard because
Yeah.
Kamen Rider Laser figures out what's going on, and he goes to confront him, like, this guy
Gim.
about it, Gim about it, and Gim is like, hey, if you keep your fucking mouth shut, I'll give you one of the Transformer uh
The Transformer, they're called Gashats.
the one of the gashats, and Laser's like, okay, cool, I'll take the gashat, but then I'm gonna kick your ass. And Gim is like, okay, bet. And hey, who could have fucking guessed the gashat was trapped, but had a virus in it or
The
something?
Gashat. No, the reason why it did that is because it's called Dangerous Zombie, and it's made with like I seem to remember that making this required like some sort of death data.
Well,
So basically the reason why it caused Laser's health to go down all the way
mhm,
is because you're not supposed to put it in the gamer driver. You're supposed to put it in the other driver that Gim uses.
the action replay.
Yeah, it's called the let's see, the Bugster Buckle, the Buggle driver.
that What a
Yeah,
fucking...
it sounds weird when you say it like that.
It's a fucking adorable name. Jeez, with the concept of the season being about like video games and stuff. I would have called it like a cheat device or something, because it weirdly gives like action replay or Game Genie vibes.
Well, it's based on like I think it's the Game Swan,
Kind of looks like a game
Wonder Swan.
Wonder Swan.
Maybe not the Wonder Swan, but yeah, it does just kind of look like a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
But like, it's a gun on one side and a fucking chainsaw on the other. It's awesome. Yeah. So to put this in better perspective, if you didn't understand it before, the strongest form up until this point was level 5, which was let's see, second, sure, the only, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so Dragon Knight Hunter is based on uh, Monster Hunter, and because the way this suit works is you see Exade here, and he has all the armor parts on him.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of those particular armor parts can go onto one of the riders, to making it a 4-player game where everybody gets one weapon.
Oh, that fucks hard.
Oh, that looks like shits. So there we go. It's a bit small, but it'll do. That's what she said.
Hey. Yeah, no, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so with Exade, with all the armor parts on, was level 5. Kamen Rider Gim, Dangerous Zombie, is level 10. So that's why he also just kicks Laser's ass.
Yeah, are there other level 10? Actually, don't tell me, because I do actually want to watch this series. And
Well,
sorry.
the double form I showed you, Mighty Brothers Double X, is because it makes two characters. They're both level 10, which is together level 20. So that's how they're able to like match up with Dangerous Zombie.
Ah, I see. So we're doing Dragon Ball Z power leveling. Never mind. I'm being
I know.
stupid.
I will say, you won't get to this part. You won't get to this part until a long, long way off. The final power level is Gim level 1 billion, and by that point, the power levels are just bullshit. It doesn't matter.
That feels like he's fucking cheating.
Yeah, yeah.
Level 1 billion. Fuck you. But no. This is a Kamen Rider X8 seems hype. I am probably gonna start watching it very soon, uh, because this is all super fucking awesome. Uh,
Like I mentioned this in the other part of the review. The part where the debut of Dangerous Zombie is just so fucking cool. With the zombie, he like bursts through the character select screen like a jump scare, and he's twisting his body all stuff, and like he's got the broken visor and the smashed health meter that's at 0 because he's dead,
yeah,
and the fucking music sting fucking awesome.
yeah,
It gives me chills. It gave me chills just watching it.
yeah. Oh, God, yeah. It seeing him was hype. This was a very hype character. Uh, honestly, I was kind of like tearing up a little bit watching this episode, even though I didn't have any fucking idea what was going on, like otherwise.
I, I guess you weren't also there when I discussed Kamen Rider Laser's backstory that was touched on in the episode.
Yeah, he broke it. He broke the bad news to one of his friends that he had the was it the Bugster virus?
Bugster virus.
And his
Bugster virus.
friend was so fucked up about it, he ended up getting into a car accident.
Distraught.
Yeah, distraught
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
And
so
like,
Kirio's kind of the like he lies a lot, but he means well
mm-hmm,
because telling the truth is sometimes too dangerous.
yeah. And basically he gets like this bad boy piece of information and he tries to get everybody together. And everybody gets together, but they get together a little bit too late. Seeing Dangerous Zombie Genma, like, beat the absolute piss out of Laser and then like just standing over his body, and everybody shows up and they're like, hey yo, what the fuck's going on? And Genma's just like, bye bye, and he teleport. I don't remember if he teleports or not, but he just leaves.
He dissolves into data.
Yeah, no,
He
that.
dies.
Yeah, like,
Oh right, I didn't explain the most fucked up part because let me pull the wiki. Yeah, so this episode debuted on the 25th. This was aired on Christmas.
oh my
After
god.
this Okay, so after this episode aired, Kirya's death went viral on Japan's Twitter feeds with the hashtag "Why did Kirya have to die so soon?" Many parents of young children are upset that they decided to show something so dark like a character dying on screen with the villain triumphant. Others were simply upset that they had to explain the concept of death to their preschool kids on a happy occasion like Christmas. One 2.5-year-old child was so angered by this, he took his roleplay toy and told his dad he was going to hunt down Gim and bring Laser back.
Holy shit. Also, how old should you be to be watching Kamen Rider? Because I feel like death is a
Yeah,
major thing that's happening.
this is something that's one of the differences between Japan and America. Power Rangers is aimed at teens,
Uh huh.
like it's supposed to be cool, man. And in Japan, Super Sentai and Kamen Rider are targeted at like toddlers sometimes
Jesus.
because like the biggest disparity I can think of is a series called let's see uh Engine Sentai Go Onger. Let's see. So in Engine Sentai Go Onger, the robots are all talking animal cars with eyes on them. Oops. And they all have, like, quirky speech patterns, and they have eyes, and they talk, and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This was adapted into Power Rangers. What is it? It's an operational. Power Rangers RPM. Power Rangers RPM was Super Serious Mad Max.
Yeah, I do remember that. RPM was like a virus got released into the air in RPM. Uh, I remember my brother talking about the Sentai version of RPM and also talking about how goofy it was. Also, I do see how like Kamen Rider and Sentai can be like, you know, how it's like more kid oriented with like all like the rapping like rhyming stuff that goes on, and all like the catchphrases that are shouted out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can't remember the one from X-Aid where he's like new game, or I can't remember the fucking chant.
Let's a game, that's your game, what's your game, what's your name?
Yeah. Like it obviously Kamen Rider and Sentai probably did it first, but Yokai Watch does like a similar like thing where like all the different yokai,
Like gibberish.
yeah, like all the different yokai what's the word, tribes like have like a silly little like rhyme rap that they have.
Tough, bluff, tough. Red stand, jacket stand, bling, bling, tough.
Yeah. Thank God you know what I'm fucking talking about. I feel like most of the shit that comes up.
I've only played the first one, and I think I didn't finish it because I didn't care for it.
No, that's fair. I am a fan. I'm a fan of Yokai Watch. I've played. I I finished the first game. I finished the second game for the most part, and I have the third game. It's one of the games that I bought like online on the Nintendo eShop before it shut down on 3DS. And I've downloaded and I played it, but I stopped playing it because my battery on my 3DS ran out, and I forgot how far back my save was for the game, and I didn't feel like going back on and seeing how much progress I lost and crying over it. Uh, but
You're gonna cry about it.
but yeah.
So you talked about.
Oh, sorry, you go first.
No, you go ahead.
No, I don't
No,
even
you
know.
go first.
I don't know what I was gonna say. I was gonna talk about like there's a lot of death in Kamen Rider. Like from what I saw of Kamen
So
Rider.
something. Yeah, you keep going.
From what I saw of Kamen Rider Ghost, there were a lot of situations where like the monster fucks something up, and it's like, oh, those people are fully dead. Like I think one of the monsters in one of the first episodes like blew up a Ferris wheel. Those people are dead.
Yeah, maybe. I will say there's there's a thing I need to explain, and that is like eras in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna make sense in a second. So there's a thing in Japan, Showa era. There's the Showa era and the Heisei era.
Mm-hmm.
The Showa era is the historical period between 1926 and 1989. So both these shows started in like the 70s.
Uh-huh.
So everything before 1989 is called a Showa series. So like Showa Riders, and this matters more for Kamen Rider more than it does for Super Sentai. Then there's the Heisei era, which came after that, which is from 1989 to like 2019. So Kamen Rider kind of went off the air for a little bit between the towards the end of the Showa era and into the beginning of the Heisei era. Then it had two more series, it petered out, it had 3 made-for-theater movies, and then it came back in the year 2000, too much rejoice. And early Heisei Kamen Rider was much more serious in tone than it is now.
I could get that.
This is like the third series in the Heisei era was called Kamen Rider Ryuki, and it was a battle royale series where a lot of people die
Oh
tragically.
Jesus.
And there's also sort of what fans call a Neo Heisei era in Kamen Rider, which doesn't make any sense if you know anything about how Japan eras work. Where, okay, you see this pink guy here, the one with the barcode face.
Uh-huh.
That's Kamen Rider Decade. He was the rider made to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Heisei Kamen Riders. The Kamen Rider that came after him, the one on the right here, the black and green one, that's Kamen Rider Double. He was sort of the beginning of this sort of shift in tone with Kamen Rider for the most part.
I am familiar
Where
with...
it became more collectible driven. Like, you notice how they had the Gashats and X-Aid, the little plastic noise makers. A lot of the things before Double were like collectible cards or just like belts. Now you have like belts with the little noisemakers in them and stuff like that.
I'm also a little bit familiar with Kamen Rider Double, but only because of a scene that I saw on Tumblr of them like transforming for the first time, and I thought that was super fucking hype.
Yeah, Kamen Rider Double is very popular and is a good entry point for just Kamen Rider in general.
Damn, why'd I pick Ghosts to start Kamen Rider? What the fuck?
Because you're an idiot.
Something I will say, Ghost had a good movie. It had a really good movie in it, but it was also because the Ghost characters were barely involved. It just happened to happen during that season. Okay, you see these two characters that match?
Yeah.
This is Kamen Rider Ichigo and Kamen Rider Nigo. They are the very first Kamen Riders. So what Ichigo means one. It's spelled like the number one, then G-O-U or something like that. It's basically a way of counting, because the way Ichigo and Nigo came to be is the original Kamen Rider actor got injured in an accident, so they had to replace him with another actor so in the show they had like, Kamen Rider went off to fight evil in America, and this new Kamen Rider came in to be his replacement. And then the main actor came back, so there's like, okay, there's two Kamen Riders now. Chigo, and the other will be Nigo.
I've noticed that a lot of the older Kamen Riders have more of a, how do I put it, like more like bug motifs, if that makes sense.
Because the original Kamen Rider was made to be a grasshopper monster.
Interesting.
He was made to be one of the animal monsters that the neo-Nazi villains were making, but one of the scientists who was in charge of his programming basically took pity on him and let him free.
Interesting.
And so the reason why I bring this up in relation to Ghost is during the Ghost season, they released a movie called Kamen Rider 1, which was basically the original Kamen Rider Ichigo never really went away. He's always been fighting crime and showing up in various seasons. But they gave him a Heisei makeover, and it's like, please stop praying for my grandpa. He's become too strong.
Whoa, buff grasshopper.
But suit design aside, this is a really heartfelt movie they did with this, because like, even if you don't really follow this or haven't watched it, you get part of this. of how Kamen Rider Ichigo will never die because the children of Japan still need him. Like it's the sort of shit that even made me tear up.
Aww.
Because the actor who plays Kamen Rider Ichigo, he's still alive, but he's getting up in years. Like here's a picture of him from the Kamen Rider 1 movie. Like this is what he looks like now, and it's honestly funny because like I'll get a picture of him from when he was younger. Like this is what heroes used to look like back in the 70s, like more sort of rugged, you might say.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, and then what the hell's the name? When they brought back Kamen Rider in the year 2000, the series was called Kamen Rider Kuga, and this is what the main character looked like. He is very handsome, and Kuga got a big boost with female audience members. So ever since Kuga, they've been making more traditionally pretty and handsome main characters.
Damn. Every day we stray further from God.
I forgot what the fuck were we talking about.
We were talking about the Kamen Rider episode and how it was a Christmas episode, but we kind of strayed away because it was only a Christmas episode for the first quarter of the episode.
Yeah, it does feel like they just stuck that in wherever they could and wherever they had space.
Yeah, it feels like they couldn't figure out how to do a full 30-minute episode about a Christmas for a Christmas special, and decided to tack that on. And honestly, what's the word? On one hand, I can kind of understand why people are upset with this being the Christmas Day special episode for the series, because I if I'm watching
a character somewhat graphically dies and they take it dead serious.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, 15 minutes earlier, we were having a fight scene
People
to
people pal,
yeah, hey, talk about tonal whiplash. What the fuck? No, it's
I
not.
was like, yeah,
What's worse than whiplash?
the actual movie Whiplash.
This was tonal vehicular manslaughter, pun intended, because Kamen Rider Laser was also the fucking bike.
I don't think you get that bike for Christmas.
Oh yeah, I don't think I got to say it yet, but this was my least favorite holiday special.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a solid episode in the series because you have big plot development, but it's not a really good holiday special. The holiday is only around for the first part of the episode, and then you get into the heavy lore related stuff, like what's going on with hey, what did Laser learn? And oh, Genma's here again, and oh, Laser's dead on the floor now.
In the rain.
Merry Christmas, you little bitches.
The reason why I did just pick this episode for the whiplash and the controversy.
Honestly, that's fair. It definitely makes me more interested in XA just to see what the fuck's going on. But yeah, not a good
one thing I didn't quite touch on, I mentioned but I forgot to follow up on, was Gim's pettiness, because he does just sort of kick off the plot of this entire game, or this entire show, because basically when he was an up-and-coming game programmer, he was like this prolific game programmer young man, uh, somebody sent him some fan mail. Now, to get across this character's pettiness, imagine you send somebody some fan mail, and in return they send you an envelope of anthrax.
Holy shit! What did the fan mail say? Like, hey,
I'm not explaining that
okay. Oh, because I want
because
to
it's
watch the series.
spoilers.
Okay, that's fair. Like, hey, you gave me fan mail. I'm gonna give you tuberculosis. Merry Christmas.
Oh, earlier, I will say earlier in this recording, you were talking about how you get Sentai toys and like tokusatsu toys in general. You kind of don't. You have to go through like specialty shops and special order shit
Oh, lame.
because I don't know. I don't know about Super Sentai, but getting Common Rider stuff in the U.S. or trying to get it more popular so it can be sold in the U.S. has been a fucking, as Avery would say, it would be a ball ache
Yeah.
because for the longest time, the American branch was represented by a group called Team Rider USA or some shit, and they're like, "Hey, if you buy this T-shirt that has like Kamen Rider shit on it, maybe we'll work on getting the belts and stuff imported." And they just kept saying that over and over and over again. And so it's like, so be sure to support this show. And it's like, cool, where am I going to watch this show?
Oh.
Be sure to support this show. So, you know, on that note, if you happen to see any of this combination of numbers and letters and happen to put it into a search engine, you might be able to find something. Anyway,
Uh,
moving on.
uh, the thing I wanted to say about what's the word? I know, like, back in the '90s when they were trying to get Power Rangers like popular again, like when Power Rangers was getting popular in the United States, they also tried to what's the word? Kick off like get like Kamen Rider into the U.S. as well, by giving one of the
They, yeah, keep going.
I think the idea was to get, I don't remember his name, but he was the Green Ranger from the original series. The idea was to give him his own series where he became what's the word, a writer, like a common writer, but everybody loved him so much on Power Rangers, he came back as the White Ranger, and then they did like a crossover episode for Kamen Rider for a new series that didn't really take off at the end of the day, if I remember correctly. Uh, and yeah, that was my thought.
I don't know. I don't know much about the Green Ranger part, but Saban did try to import Kamen Rider translated as Masked Rider,
Yeah, that's it.
Masked Rider, as they called it. It was not very good. Uh, there's actually a thing there's this weird thing that Japan does. So you know how I mentioned Kamen Rider Double?
Yes.
Uh, on all of the merchandise before Kamen Rider Double, whenever they'd put English text on packaging for the certain Kamen Rider, they would put it as Masked Rider because they translate it in English because that's what common means in English. Uh, starting with Kamen Rider Double, they just started calling it Kamen Rider and not translating it as Masked Rider. I assume to differentiate it from any of the U.S. attempts to import it, but also because nobody in the United States calls it Masked Rider. They just call it Kamen Rider. They just cut out the middleman, I assume.
Cut it out. Cut out the middleman.
Uh, yeah, the thing about the original Power Rangers is that was just sort of the season they adapted was just sort of a random season, and the it is an entirely different show in Japan, because in Japan it's called Ranger, and it is a fantasy. It is a dinosaur fantasy show
Mm-hmm.
where, like, the Rangers are all from long distant tribes. The witch lady is like a witch who hates dinosaurs because a dinosaur ate her son or some shit. There's like
Rita
elves and
Repulsa?
gnomes and stuff. Yes, that it's like witch Barla or something. Pandora,
Ah.
because that was just like the dubbed over Japanese actress for most of it, or a lot of it at least.
Actually, that honestly makes a whole lot of sense how you're explaining this series being like dinosaur fantasy land stuff, because a lot of her minions, like, I don't know how to explain it exactly. Uh like gave like weird fantasy like they were supposed to be aliens, but they gave more like fantasy like vibes, like Dark Crystal.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So the funny thing is, uh, what almost got made into Power Rangers was the season that came before Zoo Ranger, which was called Jetman. This was almost Power Rangers. Jet. They were a jet themed team with a lot of bird motifs
Mm-hmm.
on their vehicles, but the Jetman vehicles were just a bunch of jets. And so they almost did Jetman, but then they saw the upcoming toys, which are, all dinosaur things. So it's like, oh, holy shit, dinosaurs! Kids are gonna love these. So it's like, nah, we'll wait until the dinosaur ones.
And kids do love dinosaurs.
So like this was the Jetman toys.
Why does it look familiar?
And I will say, in other countries, I want to say like Brazil got a lot of even earlier Super Sentai, because I remember somebody from Brazil mentioning how they watched like Change Man in Brazil
Come to
growing up.
Brazil.
Yeah. Let's see. So I talked about how to get into Super Sentai with just like uh, starting with Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger.
Mm-hmm.
I have I have a detailed chart on my Twitter account, which I'll have to show you. I won't be able to dig it up in time to put into this video. Basically, just some cliff notes on how to get specifically into Kamen Rider,
Mm-hmm.
because they are so varied. Like, if you're going to get into Kamen Rider, either start with like Kamen Rider Kuga and just start at the beginning of the Heisei era. You either do that or go to Kamen Rider Double, because that is a big entry point. There's Kamen Rider Exade, like we showed you, and Kamen Rider Build are also good jumping on points. There is a series called Kamen Rider Decade that I mentioned earlier that on paper is similar to Gokaiger, but it is nothing like it, and you should not start with it whatsoever. Kamen Rider Decade has the powers of all the previous Heisei riders, but Kamen Rider Decade assumes that you've watched the previous 9 fucking seasons, so it will not explain shit.
Oh, so you're wondering why this guy is doing this thing? Well, fuck you.
Like, yeah. Because you will have to have watched all these other series in order to understand what's going on in Decade. Another suggestion I would make is Kamen Rider Den-O, which despite being a somewhat earlier Heisei series, is much more comedic and upbeat because it has a lot of slapstick in it. It
Mm-hmm.
is also based on the story of Momotaro, like Dawn Brothers. This is Kamen Rider Dino. You can see he has the peach-shaped visor. I would honestly recommend watching this one as well because it's time travel based. Not so these characters show up a lot in crossover movies due to time travel. And also, these characters in the show are like really iconic and fun and enjoyable, and they have great designs.
Or do what I did and start with Kamen
Uh,
Rider Ghost. You'll hate yourself, but
don't do that. Don't do that. Uh, so these are the characters from Dino. Uh, Another suggestion I'd make is so I mentioned the Showa and Heisei eras. The Heisei era ended in 2009, so everything afterwards, which is the current era that started then, it's called the Reiwa era, and several of the Reiwa writers, several of the Reiwa writers are also good jumping on points, sort of. Okay, so the one on the left is Kamen Rider Zero One. That's a good jumping on point. That's a good series. The one on the right is Kamen Rider Geats, which was a fucking great series. It's also based on Fortnite for you Zoomer dipshits out
I'm
there.
sorry, what?
Don't worry about
No,
it. The
no,
two
no, no,
series
no,
in the
no.
middle, the two series in the middle really suffered because you see, uh, towards the end of Zero One is when the pandemic happened, and Saber here that started airing during the pandemic,
Oh no.
and Revice was also in the middle of the pandemic. They suffered heavily. Like Saber suffered because they had to use a shit ton of CG to make up for, distancing. So they had to use a lot of green stuff. It really suffered in terms. It's an all right show, but I feel bad for it. Revice can fuck off because Revice is. You want to talk about tonal whiplash? There are more horrifying graphic deaths in Revice than there were in this episode of X-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
Except you have that guy in the front there. That's Kamen Rider Vice. Kamen Rider Vice acts like every dipshit influencer that you probably hate. He's just annoying and mugging to the camera constantly, and also his voice actor is kind of a piece of shit who did blackface once.
What the fuck? Why is it called Revice? Is it like a? Is it supposed to be like
Uh,
officers or something? Or
okay, so the characters are named Kamen Rider Revi and Kamen Rider Vice. Together they are Kamen Rider Revice as a pair.
gotcha.
Because it has to do with making deals with the devil, with your inner demons.
Okay.
Literally, the transformation devices are like stamps. You're
Okay.
making deals with like your inner demons or whatever,
God damn it! That's a
and
really
it's all
that's a really
yeah.
interesting
The,
premise, but
the other thing that sucks about it is it's a dinosaur themed Kamen Rider, which is like one of the only ones. And also, let me see. It also gave us one of the sickest fucking suit designs. Where this is Kamen Rider Demons, and he has a spider themed motif, so he's also partially based on Spider Man.
ooh,
This
ooh,
suit design is sick as fuck. It's it's too bad the character Kamen Rider Demons is an eternal jobber.
a what?
Oh, maybe you don't know what that means.
I
Jobbers are people in people who people are jobbers are people in wrestling who take falls for money. Basically, he looks cool as fuck. He's always getting his ass beat, and he's slowly dying because he's sick as fuck.
Damn.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I can't think of anything else. This was wonderful. I'm glad that you were able to show this to us, and I'm glad that I was able to get my thoughts out. I felt really bad not being able to join like the actual episode. Uh, uh, but yeah. How many other holiday specials are there for? What's for Sentai and Kamen Rider?
I mean, there's a Christmas special for every season, mostly. For most of the seasons. Like, one that I didn't bring up because it's not in the good place where you can find all the seasons. Let me see. It's Ninja Taku Ranger. Sure. Because it's also one of the like really popular Christmas episodes, but the episodes just weren't on this site because it has stuff like it.
Yep, those are Santas.
I think Santa Claus has like a breath weapon in this. I haven't actually watched this episode.
There,
if you're familiar,
something feels
if
wrong
you're
about
familiar
that
with, yeah, if you're familiar with the "It Is Friday in California" theme, that came from Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger.
But yeah, I have nothing else to say about Sentai. Have a Merry Christmas. Like,
Don't say that.
what?
Shit.
That's what they were saying in the episodes. Okay, fine. Don't have a happy Christmas. Have a kind of adequate holidays.
You're talking like one of those people that calls the Japanese Spider-Man show Spider-Man, like they used to do in the early 2000s because they're fucking dipshits. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a happy fuck you, Aura.
Don't get blown
Stop
up.
recording.
Okay, stop recording. Goodbye, everybody.